The information in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Hiking and outdoor activities involve inherent risks, including injury or death. Always exercise caution, stay on marked trails, and assess conditions before proceeding. The creator assumes no responsibility for any harm, injuries, or damages that may occur. Viewers follow this guide at their own risk. Tumalo Falls in Oregon's Deschutes National Forest is located right outside of Bend, and it's one of those places that earns its reputation completely. It's the tallest waterfall along Tumalo Creek and one of the tallest in the surrounding area, as well as one of the most popular outdoor destinations near the city. The main lower viewpoint is accessible to virtually anyone, and an upper viewpoint just a short hike above offers breathtaking, sweeping views that take the whole experience to another level. And just 3/4 of a mile up the trail from Tumalo Falls is Double Falls, a magnificent waterfall with a somewhat misleading name that I'll get into later. Join me as we explore this beautiful stretch of the Eastern Cascades, the stunning Tumalo Creek, and two of its most incredible waterfalls. As you make your way up the dirt road to Tumalo Falls, you'll first come across a large parking area that also has a kiosk where you can purchase a day pass if needed. This area requires a National Forest pass, so if you already have one, you're good to go. If not, you can purchase a day pass at the kiosk. Or, if your phone has reception, scan a barcode and pay right on your phone. There's also a large overflow parking area here. Once you have your pass, I'd suggest driving up to the main parking lot first to check for availability, as it's much closer to the trailhead. If there's nothing there, you'll end up back here. And there is a trail from this area that leads to the falls as well. At the main parking lot, you'll find a good-sized area that holds about 15 cars or so. People end up squeezing into every available space they can find, and on busy summer days or weekends, it fills up fast. I highly recommend getting here as early as possible. It really does make a big difference. Since this is such a popular destination, it's also very well maintained. There are 2 vault toilets, trash cans, and informational signage at the trailhead. And on the opposite side of the parking lot, a short trail leads down to a picnic area along Tumalo Creek, as well as a separate trail that follows the creek downstream. It's a really beautiful spot to stop, relax, and have something to eat before or after the hike. From the parking lot, you only have to walk a few feet to reach the main lower viewpoint platform, where you get great head-on views of Tumalo Falls. This viewpoint is accessible to virtually anyone, including those in wheelchairs. The falls are set back a bit and not right up in your face, but even from this distance, the view is beautiful. Water pouring over a massive basalt cliff and dropping into the creek below, flanked by the sheer canyon walls on either side. It's a stunning sight, and you can also see the upper viewpoints from here, which we'll head to next. Head back toward the parking lot, and at the informational sign, go to the right. You'll see a sign for the North Fork Trail number 24.2, pointing toward the Tumalo Falls upper viewpoint, which is just a 1/4 mile up the hill. The trail climbs with a steady but manageable incline, winding through a couple of large switchbacks. And before you know it, you're at the top. Just a few more feet brings you to the first upper viewpoint, a metal deck that literally hangs out over the cliffside with sweeping views in every direction. If you're afraid of heights, this might not be for you. But if you can handle it, it is absolutely worth stepping out onto. From up here, you can look left and watch the waterfall pour into the canyon below. Then follow Tumalo Creek all the way to the right past the parking lot and bridge, and then down the valley toward Central Oregon. It's one of the most breathtaking viewpoints I've come across on any short hike. Continuing on, another viewpoint puts you right at the lip of the falls, and the perspective from here is genuinely remarkable. You're literally looking straight down Tumalo Falls from the very top, which is an experience completely unlike the view from below. Once you've taken everything in, it's time to head up toward Double Falls. Start by following the stone wall and railing, which leads after a short distance to a lovely viewpoint of the creek and a small cascade tumbling into it. And from here, you can already see just how incredibly clear the water is. Continue to the left and follow the fence, which brings you up to the main trail running along Tumalo Creek toward Double Falls. Almost immediately, you'll come across a small post with a sign that reads Water Access, the first of many along this section of trail. There are numerous creek access points before the trail starts climbing more seriously, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to head down to the water if you'd like. Each one is worth checking out. This first spot has some beautiful little spaces to sit, rocks that almost seem like they were placed intentionally as seats right along the edge of the creek. Back on the trail, another creek access appears almost right away. This one is a bit different. The rocks along the edge form a natural slant that slides right down into the water. A perfect spot to dangle your feet in, and an easy place for a dog to get a drink. When I was here, there was also a fallen log that, depending on the water level, you could use to cross over to the other side. A bit further down the trail, you'll reach a much larger creek access area with actual steps leading down, an open space for a campfire, which I'd imagine is only permitted outside of fire season, and a wide, open stretch of shoreline perfect for hanging out near the water. This part of the creek runs wide and shallow along the bank. If you haven't stopped yet, this is definitely one of the best spots to do it. Just around the corner from that area is another access point, a smaller, narrower trail that winds down through some vegetation and over a tiny fork of the creek before opening onto another wide, beautiful spot along the water. And depending on the water level, you can walk right out onto the rocks and look up and down the canyon in both directions. I know I keep coming back to this, but Tumalo Creek is just remarkably beautiful. Alongside the waterfalls, it makes the entire hike genuinely enjoyable from start to finish. And I really do encourage you to stop at each access point because each one is beautiful in its own right. A bit further on, a small unsigned spur trail to the right leads down to the creek one more time. This section of the creek is noticeably more turbulent. You're gaining elevation, the gradient has increased, and the water moves with more energy. It's a striking contrast from the calmer waters earlier in the hike. This is also the last easy creek access point before the trail starts climbing more seriously toward Double Falls. From here, the incline picks up, not dramatically, but noticeably more than before. The terrain becomes more rugged, with fallen boulders alongside the trail and a rockier surface underfoot. Good hiking shoes become more important from this point forward. You'll still see and hear the creek below, but it's no longer accessible. And at certain stretches, the trail pulls away from it entirely, putting you up in the forest, surrounded by trees and the quieter atmosphere of the Upper Canyon. It's a different kind of beautiful. As you get closer to Double Falls, sheer cliffs begin appearing on your right-hand side. Please keep a close eye on dogs and small children from this point on. There are no railings. Then, before you know it, the trail opens onto a wide, flat area with a sheer 125-foot cliff at the end of it. And the full view of Double Falls comes into view. This is the main viewing area. I'll say it again. Please make sure to keep a close eye on pets and kids. The drop here is significant, and there is absolutely no barrier. If you can bring yourself to get reasonably close to the edge, you'll be rewarded with one of the most spectacular waterfall views on any trail near Bend. The two lower tiers cascade down the cliff in a beautiful layered flow, the first dropping 23 feet in a graceful fanning veil, followed by the final plunge of 29 feet into the creek below. The water is that stunning clear, sometimes almost bluish color that Tumalo Creek is known for. I remember the first time I made it up here. I was completely surprised by how impressive it really is. Most people have no idea it's sitting less than a mile up the trail from the main Tumalo Falls. To the right of the viewpoint, a large rock formation juts out from the cliff face, split down the middle by a dramatic crack. If you're feeling bold, you can step out onto it for an exhilarating, elevated view of the falls and the canyon below. That decision is entirely yours and is absolutely at your own risk. Now here's the part that most people miss. Even among those who make it all the way up to Double Falls, the majority turn around right here, not knowing that there's another waterfall just around the corner. Head along the left side of the cliff and the trail continues. On the way, you'll pass another viewpoint that looks down at Double Falls from above the middle section, a completely different and equally impressive angle. Just a short distance beyond that, you arrive at the next waterfall. This one is a long, graceful cascade flowing down the cliff face, 37 feet over a bumpy two-step flow through jagged rocks and past a backdrop of fallen logs. Here you're viewing it from up on the cliff above, which gives it a wonderfully dramatic perspective. Most people would naturally consider this its own separate waterfall, and to be honest, it feels like one. But from what I can find, this is actually the upper tier of Double Falls, making what you see at the main viewpoint the lower tier. It's a name that doesn't quite do the place justice. When you count all the cascades together, this is really a 3, maybe even 4-tier waterfall system. The trail does continue beyond this point, and there are additional waterfalls further up, but the distances roughly double and triple with each one. For today, I'm focusing on this stretch because I genuinely believe it offers the most bang-for-your-buck experience for most people. 2 major waterfalls on a 2.1 mile out and back with only 324 feet of elevation gain. It's hard to beat. The Tumalo Falls and Double Falls Trail is, without a doubt, one of the very best waterfall hikes in Central Oregon. I honestly can't think of many, if any, that let you experience this much waterfall beauty in such a short and accessible trip. I come out here about once a year and it never disappoints. I've brought family and friends, and it always wins them over. I really hope you get a chance to come out and experience this trail and these magnificent waterfalls for yourself.